In few other modern sports does the athlete demand a custom piece of equipment tailored to them by another human. These are the stories of people who make surfboards and their relationship to those who ride them. It's their passion and their livelihood. Generations of experience and feedback are woven into the fabric of this craft. A trial and error process where mistakes have consequences. We follow these boards all over the world alongside the surfers putting them to the test. When form, skill, and nature come together in this careful dance, the results are extraordinary. This is not by chance. Just 2 days before crossing the Atlantic, free surfer Trevor Gordon discovered a crucial piece missing in his quiver. I was joining his crew in the Canary Islands and was able to grab a blank from my friends at POLYOLA before leaving. With the large majority of pre-departure tasks checked off the list, Trevor transformed the boatyard into a makeshift shaping bay. Using unconventional tools and techniques, Trevor had to rely on his eyes to sketch the template. Trevor's spontaneous spirit and DIY approach to life is exactly what inspires me most about him. With a crude board to test and an ocean to cross, we set out on our adventure. This is the story of Yardfish.
It's a bit wobbly. I like this one. We need two. Yeah, look at that. It's perfect height. 5.7 is like 5.5 is 5.6. So it's 267 centimeters long.
In hand-drawn template.
Comfy.
There you have it, folks. Trevor's method of fishtail measurement is
Circle plus an inch. Yeah.
even after that. After you take the bulk out with the planer right now, you can get the rest with the block.
Glass that? Or? Yeah, sand it all down and then layer of glass over it.
We got 23 minutes to do the rest of the shaping, and then glassing tonight. We'll see.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll have a look tomorrow then.
Yeah. Cheers. Have a good night.
Imagine what it looks like under the lights. Yeah, this thing is definitely not going to work. Oh, I got a special logo for this one.
We were trying to figure out what to make the fins out of, and I remembered I had a couple pieces of little bit of fly in one of the closets on the boat, so grabbed that and sketched out a template. Started grinding away at it with the flap disc. I glassed the board with some expired vinyl ester resin that the yard had lying around. Although I had done quite a few boards before, I'm way out of practice and by no means a pro. The resin was watery to begin with and kicked off fast in the heat of the afternoon. We didn't have any standing resin, so I hot coated it and tried with 40 grit to cut down some of the tack. It worked all right, but retained a bit of this sticky texture for a long while.
We're going to be shoving off the dock here pretty soon. I don't really know. I've only surfed this spot once, but we're going to be stopping by the long, reefy right point. Probably be about head high. Stay there a night, 2 nights, depends how good it is, and then basically just start going across the Atlantic from there. And when we get across the Atlantic, there's bound to be some more waves. So.
Anything else you had in mind?
Yeah, this is a certain spot. So good. You anchor right there, paddle 20 feet, and you're at the wave. That's a dream spot. One you go to forever.
Our crew for the crossing included Stevie, an experienced American sailor and frothing surfer who turned out to be one hell of a fisherman, and Harry, a good friend of mine from the French Basque country, whose life dream it was to do a trip like this. Along with Trevor and myself as well, made for a nice and tidy 4-person crew aboard Aldora, the wonderful and seaworthy 2001 Outremer 45 catamaran. Watching Trevor crank this shape out of nowhere, I wanted a bit of a backstory about his understanding of fishes and with surfboards in general.
Progression of the fishes, like in general, like from the beginning of when you first got your first fish, like the progression of how you see fishes.
They're about the same. My first fish was first real fish was like a CI skinny fish.
Yep.
Pretty shortboardy in terms of fishes. If anything, I've digressed in terms of fishes.
you started out on performance fishes and now you surf.
I don't know. I don't. Yeah, they're a bit more pluggy now than they maybe were. But I was also real tiny. But I was mostly a shortboard drum. And then and Ryan Lovelace made me a pull. My first real fishes when I was 16.
What about your own fishes?
Little tweaks on template, but try to just try to keep making them like thinner and more performance-y now.
Yeah. Except for this one.
This one. And then we have any too?
The tail on those, that one's super thick.
Very thick. It's gonna be fun, like mushy way to fish. For all the way. But I think the inside might be a little better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did it go?
We should have made a long fish also.
We still can.
Our weather routing had taken us the long way across the pond, giving us an unexpected surf opportunity on the wave-rich island of Trevor was reluctant to try this new board as he thought it looked kind of odd, and that it also might fall apart. This is the first ever surf on the Yardfish.
What do you think, dude? How's the board go? You don't love it?
It's all right.
It's too thick in the tail.
No, it's too thick in the middle. In the
Oh,
rails.
really?
But it, like on the smaller ones, it goes fast and trims and kind of feels cool.
Yeah.
The bigger ones, it slides out.
Oh, is that why you were surfing the inside?
No, I just don't like sitting with all people. But I think the template in the rocker feels good.
Yeah.
Just a little bit like bigger than I would.
Let's crush it in the middle. Just take and pound on the rails a little bit. Looks super fun though. Down the line, you're flying.
You got one that went all
Way the fuck right down there.
It works actually better than I thought it was gonna work.
With our little stop off, we had a short window to top up on supplies and recheck the forecast and route planning. We made a couple tech upgrades and minor repairs and cast off into the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean. Getting to take a step away from the world and cross an ocean is always an experience that lends itself to deep reflection. During an ocean crossing, days melt into one another just like the night sky fades into the ocean. The horizon line water for the foreseeable future. Tending to everyday tasks becomes ritual, and fishing, religion, the logbook chronicling our story. In addition, Stevie made watercolor paintings of all of our fishing lures, and we kept tally of what fish was caught on each one, a practice I now implement on each crossing I go on. After 24 days of pure ocean, we had finally made it. However, a certain type of sadness filled me, knowing that my time on board was coming to an end. That feeling, though, was pale in comparison to the excitement of getting to a place I had never been before, especially because we had gotten a glimpse of service just now, and seen that we were gifted a forecast of waves upon our arrival. With the boys frothing and smelly, we pulled in for a closer look.
But it's puppet. It's overhead. Look at that. One guy up. It's like. Oh, coming at us. Yeah, sir.
During the last month, I have seen him improvise and adapt with grace in sailing, surfing, and shaping. He's a person who most certainly takes the path less traveled, and joining him on this adventure has been a humbling and rewarding experience, to say the least. Although the Yardfish was admittedly not one of his favorite boards he's ever made, it will always have a place in the quiver, if nothing more than a memento from a special trip. And as you've just seen, he definitely made that sticky pig fly.